And hi and welcome to day 7 of the 30-day digital challenge. So we're nearly a third of the way there. We're over 250,000 views. And today we're going to be looking at 7-figure sales funnel. Now, these sales funnels are critical because every day that you wake up in business, you don't want to be spending all of your time thinking about how to market and recruit new business. What we would love to have is ready-made prospects that we can help nurture through to paying customers. So the whole ethos of lead generation is about building a lead funnel. And we're going to look at the 6 steps of building that lead funnel. And we're going to go through what those steps should be and some of the critical tips that you need to construct this. Now, bear in mind that 97% of the people who actually visit your website are browsing. So only 3% of people are actually in the position where they're ready to buy and inquire. So what does that mean? Well, many people start off their journey day to day thinking, right, what I need more traffic. So they start doing more and more digital marketing through different channels, spending more, advertising campaigns, and so on. Well, actually, what we should focus on is optimizing the conversion of the current traffic. So what does that mean in real terms? Well, if 97% of the people who are visiting your site are not ready to buy and inquire, then could we offer some form of lead magnet, something in exchange of them telling us that they've been on the site? Otherwise they leave and we never know they've been there. So the marketing cost to get new traffic back on is very high. Now, if you could capture the interest of the people who are visiting your site through getting them to follow you on social media, subscribe to your blog, download a PDF, or anything like that, then it's going to be 10 times more effective in terms of your marketing, because you'll have people who've expressed an interest, you'll have a lead funnel that day to day you're generating people who are ready to sort of get to the next step with you in the awareness process to buying. Now, one thing I want you to consider are the steps. So if you want to perhaps set up an offer, you need to think about, is your offer something that's compelling? So things that we love on websites are capturing our interest through quizzes and polls, giving us downloads, free guides, coupons, offers, anything like that, subscribing to the blog. You don't want to get people onto your website and then just get them to leave before you actually interact. So engagement is key here. Now, the next bit is, does your actual structure of the way that you're recruiting business actually fit? So does the shape of your funnel fit the offer? Now, what we want to do is think about, traditionally, people used to do things like sign up for a newsletter. I think we can all agree we've all got so much email coming into us day by day that another newsletter is not what we want. But maybe think of something like adding value, like free tips or helpful guides or how-to. And think about what you're positioning in terms of your storytelling. Now, one of the things that we're talking about in today's training with our Fast Track team is we're looking at positioning your product and your service without actually telling people what it is you sell. Now, I've not lost the plot, but what I mean is that instead of keep talking to people about features, try and position the benefits and try and think about what it is that your website is existing for. So if people are browsing, we want to offer lead magnets, things that people will give us an email, and we want to add value. So that piece of content and offer, please make sure that it's something like that's educational, that's going to entertain and bring emotion. So think about storytelling. Now, think about the offer. And when you're positioning the offer, I want you to think of what we call the 5 W's. This offer has got to be what? What is the product that you're selling or the service you're promoting? Work that back. So for instance, if we're selling a diploma, for instance, we don't want to just go and sort of market a diploma to people, but we want to educate people about why a diploma or qualification might benefit them. So we could position content like digital marketing guides, how to get into digital marketing, best courses, a day in the life of a digital marketer, so that people can explore it and try and think about what this offer and proposition is in less sort of monetary but more adding value. And try and think about what sort of fear or objection are you handling. So if people always come up with an objection, so say for instance somebody's doing apprenticeship courses, One of the things you don't want to be doing is just positioning the apprenticeship course. What you want to be doing is talking about all the frequently asked questions. So go and research all the FAQs. So we know that maybe in apprenticeships, people are maybe thinking, well, what age do I have to be to apprentice? All of the things that people search for in Google that attract them onto your website, they're probably going to land on your blog. And try and entice that person to find out more at that point. Now, we use a formula called the AIDA model. So we're looking at grabbing someone's attention, getting their interest, so capturing whether they're interested in the product and service through content marketing. That's the key. And then developing a desire so that they'll ultimately take action and become a paying customer. So keep thinking about what you can do in terms of conversion optimization on your site. Think about processes of all these people who are not ready to buy and inquire, and that would be making a telephone call or submitting a contact us form. So think about, first of all, constructing an offer, okay? The first thing is that once we've got our offer in place, what is the structure? How are you going to take that offer, make it into content, grab people's attention and nurture them through? What's the narrative? So what story are you telling for people to get involved? Now, what's the sales fundamental? So what is it ultimately you want them to do? So by presenting things like the benefits over the features, you ultimately want to nurture them through to paying customers. So work it back and think about all the FAQs, frequently asked questions. Think about the emotion. Does your sort of funnel and offer bring them on an emotional journey? You know, things like obviously career development is more exciting than just, you know, come and do an exam. Think about like a day in the life of, get people to picture and imagine. And the most important bit of all, to make your funnel work perfectly, is content. Marketing is impossible without great content. So think about maybe running a campaign, a bit like the 30-day challenge, whereby all of our content is constructed through 10-minute videos. All of these videos are constructed on frequently asked questions and things that people are searching in Google. You know, how to build a sales funnel, how to generate leads, how to build more traffic. And we've developed a whole campaign to help nurture people through to thinking about digital marketing in their business and developing their skills. So again, think about what is the whole offering that you're positioning. How are you going to capture their interest to get their email address and in turn market to them? So hopefully we give you a bit of an insight into what your sales funnel looks like, how people behave on your website. And I would suggest going onto your website and looking at all of these different things in terms of it's in a newsletter, for instance. If you sign up for a newsletter, try it yourself. Last week I signed up for 100 newsletters. We got 10%. Now, the tendency is for businesses, they send it a month later. We've lost interest at that point. So think about your own customer journey from finding you in the search engines, going onto your website. How would you capture that consumer's interest? And what content would you position to nurture them through? And again, what content would you use to engage your current customers who spend on average 33% more with you to come back and buy again? So remember the 3 goals in business: increase your customer base, average order value, and purchase frequency. Now, the best offering for your sales funnel is obviously to do nice content that is going to be educational, entertaining, and emotional. Now, tomorrow's tips are going to be centered around the whole ethos of email marketing, but more importantly, how to do effective email marketing. We see so many emails going out, and we're going to be looking at what the success factors are in email. So tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. And if you can help us on our journey for our digital channel challenge by commenting, liking, and sharing, that would be great. And I'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. So thanks very much for taking time out to join us.